This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
All right, great friends. What's happening? It's Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, just getting onto the airwaves of 1090, just getting onto the stream of YouTube. Hey, to everybody that's just getting involved in YouTube, get involved in the YouTube live chat. We love talking to you throughout the show. So make sure you're involved in the YouTube live chat and continue to subscribe on YouTube, because I've got a very, I don't know, it's just not really that aggressive, but I've got a goal of trying to get us to 7,500 subscribers by the end of the year. And I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but go ask all of our colleagues around town how many subscribers they've got on their YouTube channel. And you know what they'll tell you? I don't have a YouTube channel. Big mistake. So help us get to 7,500 by the end of the year. Next year, we'll double it. All right, we're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. I got Grande and Brown Man. And yet again, an abbreviated broadcast on radio today, which just reminds me at the very beginning of today's broadcast to tell you, for those of you that listen on radio, you should come to YouTube, because when we get done on radio, we got a whole separate deal going on YouTube. And that's where we speak the way we really speak off air, because like on air, you got to watch your mouth, you know what I mean? But like off air, on YouTube, on podcasts exclusively, all I'm saying is you should come by today and be part of the YouTube finish and the finale of today's show. Grande, Brown Man, good afternoon. Guys, we had an abbreviated broadcast yesterday because we decided to air the World Series here on 1090. And then yesterday, the World Series, due to weather, gets postponed. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what are we doing on 1090 right now? Because we only gave you an hour. So, Alex, can you kind of reset what Major League Baseball has decided to do with the World Series for us?
Yeah, Major League Baseball has just redone the entire remaining schedule. So they will play Game 3 tonight, Game 4 tomorrow, and Game 5 on Thursday, because today is Tuesday. So now the off day becomes Friday, and now the entire reason why they didn't give the NLCS a day off after that Sunday game, or at least it was scheduled if it would have gone Game 6, was to not play a game on Sunday against the NFL, and now they are. The World Series Game 7, if it happens, will be Sunday, November 6th. And you know what I'm thinking?
Tell me.
Well, I dodged a bullet there if that would have gone Padres Game 7 World Series. But yes, so today, tomorrow, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday if necessary.
So that changes our whole week again, because we thought we were going to have abbreviated shows on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Correct.
And then a full show on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But because 1090 has decided to air these ESPN presentations of the World Series, now you're telling me we're going to have an abbreviated show yesterday, which got rained out.
Yes.
Shorter show today, shorter show tomorrow, then another short show on Thursday.
Correct.
And then on Friday, we're off on Friday, aren't we?
Yes.
Because you are doing wedding prep for Sunday, and I got to go deal with family.
Right.
Stuff,
so we were supposed to have a full
whatever.
show on Thursday. That's been scrapped. Now we will do another abbreviated 1-hour show on Thursday.
Wow. Browner, how you feel about all these abbreviated broadcasts?
Again, if we have something that we can use, we should use it to flex the power of the station. Other than that, we're missing some news, but nothing that we can't crush into a couple of minutes.
Speaking of news, let's do this. A couple of things. Let me say this. I've received a lot of people who have asked me on Twitter, because on Friday of last week, I told everybody that I was going to a lunch with Landon Donovan, and that was the same. Did I drop?
Oh, last Friday you did, yes.
Wait, last Friday I dropped what?
Name dropped.
Name.
Oh, I name dropped. I thought you meant like I dropped off air. I buffered. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, name drop.
Okay. Yes, I've been doing a lot of name dropping recently.
Yes.
Last Friday, I name dropped that I was having lunch with Landon Donovan. This was the same day that all the news was coming out about the potential of an MLS team to San Diego. So people have hit me up on Twitter and they're like, bro, Monday, you didn't even talk about this Landon Donovan lunch. What came from this lunch? I will tell you that in a matter of moments. I will. But before we get there, you talk about news. Earlier today, this is at around like 10 a.m. this morning, the news drops that the Brooklyn Nets have fired Steve Nash, their coach.
Shocker.
Now,
I am shocked.
Now we're not like we talk basketball because, I'm such a huge NBA fan and I finally have gotten Alex and Browner to get on the NBA bandwagon. These guys didn't really watch
Especially Browner.
basketball.
I mean,
Yeah,
my God.
Browner could care less about basketball. Um,
What's that?
what's that? You don't
What's
even know what that
mean?
is, do you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Who they play for?
So we talk about we talk Lakers, maybe a little Clippers, and then like storylines, like that idiot Kyrie Irving, with his anti-Semitic posting recently. Whatever. I really don't even pay attention to the guy. But earlier today, 10 a.m. ish, the Nets fired Steve Nash, their head coach. You guys both giggled and said shocker. Steve Nash, based on the statement that he released, to me, sounded like a guy who was like, "Oh, thank God. Oh, thank goodness you guys fired me. Gosh, I really appreciate that, Joseph Tsai. Do me a favor. Just write me a check. I will gladly leave. I will say all kinds of wonderful things about the organization. I will wish you guys luck and thank goodness because I don't want to do this. This job sucks. These two guys in particular are completely, utterly uncoachable. And you know what? I don't care if you get Phil Jackson or freaking Red Auerbach. Okay. These guys can't be coached. So I'm very happy to stop babysitting and leave. Thank you very much, Joseph Tsai. Browner, what do you say about Steve Nash being fired by the Brooklyn Nets?
I know Steve Nash. I'm not going to say how I know Steve Nash. What I will say is this: good for both parties, because that wasn't working. That was never going to work. Kyrie Irving never respected Steve Nash at all. Zero, none, nada. And if the next coach, and this is going to sound terrible.
No, I know what you're going to say, and I agree with you.
If the next coach isn't a black man,
right,
you will have the same problem
right.
with Kyrie Irving as your second best player. I don't
agree.
think Kevin Durant had much of anything to do with this. I just think that at this point, something had to be done because they're not good. I've seen almost one of their games this year. Their offense is grossly stagnant. They have no rhythm. They have no style of play. And it's bad to watch on defense. It's even worse to watch on offense. And you got two of the best players offensively in the NBA. So I don't think you can move forward with Kyrie Irving, period. I don't care who the coach is now. I would prefer Mark Jackson because at least Mark Jackson can get some respect from Kyrie Irving.
Well, listen, I mean, look, here's the thing. It's the exact same situation in LA with the Lakers. Russell Westbrook wouldn't even consider giving an ounce of respect to Frank Vogel.
Not a bit.
Right. And
let me ask you a question before you keep going.
Yeah.
Now that I'm seeing what they're doing with Darvin Ham, and what I mean the Lakers front office, why would he? The Lakers gave Frank Vogel absolutely zero control over that team. They never let Frank Vogel coach that team. So if you're Russell Westbrook, why would I pay attention to you when I know who's calling the shots?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if you were Frank Vogel and you were like, "Hey, Russ, see this right here? See this ring? I coached this team to a championship." And Russ would say, "No, you really didn't."
LeBron did
that. This was LeBron's team, and LeBron led this team to a championship, and you were along for the ride, little white man. So you didn't play in the NBA. I don't respect you as a player. At least Steve Nash had the resume as a great player in the NBA.
Better than Kyrie
Then
Irving.
some people might actually respect him as a basketball man. But I agree with what you're saying, Browner. I honestly think that the reason Darvin Ham,
Nash never got a ring.
Steve Nash was a two-time MVP and led one of the most revolutionary offenses in basketball in NBA history. He was a far better player than Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving won a championship because LeBron James carried him to the championship and he made a shot. After that, Kyrie Irving has been nothing but a disappointment at every stop he's been at, period. Steve Nash was a great professional. He was a joy of a man, and he was a fantastic basketball player.
And a bad coach.
Well,
and a terrible coach.
He's a terrible coach. Like, before we even jump into the actual details of everything, Steve Nash is a bad head basketball coach.
Well,
absolutely, I agree.
I just want to say one thing. That may be true. Who knows?
It's not the juicy stuff that we want to talk about, though.
Maybe
Right.
he'll eventually come
No.
back and be a good head coach. I don't know if he will
No.
or he won't. But here's what I will say. Steve Nash went from never coaching anything in his life
Right.
to being put on the bench of an organization that had ridiculous expectations and had big name value players. And again, I don't think anybody can coach these guys. I don't think
I
they're
gotta
coachable.
tell you, dude, I think the guy that looks the worst here, and you guys may not agree with me, is Sean Marks. They got his balls in a vice there. And when I mean they, I mean Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They demanded to be traded. He begged them to come back. They demanded they fire Steve Nash. He refused. To put up some sort of, I got a strong front. I'm the guy that runs the team here. When really, he has let them take over such control there. He is like festered this toxic culture in this petri dish that is the Brooklyn Nets right now. Like Sean Marks has no control in that organization. None.
No.
You
he's
want to blame
probably-
Joseph Tsai? Sure, he's the owner. You could always go there. Shoot, I always blame Genie Bus, so I get it. But really, when you have a general manager that is supposed to call the shots and had this tumultuous offseason and demanded and wanted every single person to come back to run it back for whatever reason, a team that got bounced in the freaking first round, swept, he looks the worst here. And then we can all say about Kyrie, we could all like let KD go under the radar for blame here too. Sean Marks let this happen.
Well, I mean, again, I would blame Joseph Tsai above all, because he's the guy that gave these guys this money, gave this general manager this payroll / this autonomy to make decisions. The signing of Steve Nash from the very beginning was dumb, because the players said, this is our guy. Who the hell listens to these players? I mean,
but also said we didn't need a coach.
Right. Essentially, we needed
Right.
a babysitter. You know,
Yes.
we needed a former player who can just babysit us, but no one's going to listen to a word he said. But I will just say that I think Browner's right from the very beginning, which is this. If you're going to attempt to reach Kyrie Irving, you have to look at what the Lakers have attempted to do. They're trying to reach Russell Westbrook, and they got a coach who is first and foremost a black man, who comes from a very underprivileged background,
physically imposing,
who played in the NBA, but he wasn't a first round pick. He wasn't somebody's lottery pick. This brother had to work real hard for years to get into the NBA. Okay. And to be a successful player that you don't know his name as a player, but if you look at his resume, you're like, wow, man, that's impressive.
I hate this argument against Steve Nash. I get it for Frank Vogel. But you're talking about Steve Nash. Browner just said one of the most decorated point guards of all time, one of the most successful point guards of all time. And that you're not going to give that guy respect, then you're not going to respect anybody that comes in there.
Well, but I said that earlier.
And you handpicked them.
But
you handpicked that guy.
They're uncoachable.
The problem.
They're uncoachable humans, not just talking about players. They're uncoachable humans. They already are set in their ways, unwilling to adapt to their lifestyle that they've already chosen,
and have been given the power to say, this is the coach we want, because we don't need to be coached. We just need somebody to sit on the bench and occasionally call a timeout. Your point is well made, Alex, that you hate the argument, because Steve Nash should have the basketball credibility to earn or to have these guys show him some respect. Vogel didn't have that for Westbrook. Ham
didn't have that for Vogel. Yeah.
What did I say?
Right.
The other way around. That's fine.
The other way around.
Ham can say to Russell Westbrook, young brother, trust me, I am looking out for your best interest, and I am looking out for the best interest of the team. And when Russell Westbrook hears Darvin Ham say that, he goes, this is an African-American gentleman. This is a guy who played in the NBA. This is not some guy who grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. This is a guy who had to work to get to where he's at. I respect the grind, whereas Westbrook never respected Vogel, even though Vogel had the ring. And the same goes for Kyrie Irving. No matter how much basketball credibility Steve Nash may have earned, Kyrie Irving was not going to respect him. Primarily, do I have to finish the sentence, Browner?
Primarily,
it's not that Kyrie Irving doesn't respect Steve Nash's basketball intellect. Kyrie Irving thinks he's smarter than everyone. And the underlying problem is you have to challenge Kyrie Irving as a man. Also the problem is you cannot do that with Kevin Durant because he will curl up. Kevin Durant didn't like Steve Kerr. So I don't know what you can do for him as a coach because he didn't like Steve Kerr, period. So
You can't do anything.
now,
That's Scott's point. You can't do anything to these guys.
You cannot coach these guys.
The only way that
but
Kevin Durant can be, I would even put it in quotations, is coached, because I think it's a perception of being allowed to be coached, is when you
Right.
surround him with players that are maybe better than him. And that was, I'm not telling you that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond are better than him, but they looked at him as equals, not
They were
a
on his
superior. So in Brooklyn, he is the alpha.
Well, wait,
Even
but there's
Kyrie
more
knows he's
to
the
it.
alpha.
But there's more to it. If you have somebody like Steph Curry saying, Steve Kerr's our coach, and that's our guy, and I respect him, and I listen to him, and I'm being coached by him, that spreads the word in the locker room that our top guy follows his lead. Listen, LeBron James had a problem with Eric Spoelstra when he went to Miami.
Try to get him fired.
But the Heat as an organization and Pat Riley and Dwayne Wade were like, no, this is our guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if the coach doesn't have the support of a star, the coach is screwed. And Frank Vogel did not have LeBron's support, and nobody supported Steve Nash.
I think the
Right.
Lakers are a lot different than the Brooklyn, but they're in similar, like the players are similar as far as how they feel towards the coach, but the situations are totally different because the front office enabled Steve Nash to have a little bit of leeway, in Brooklyn. In LA, we know now that Frank Vogel had zero autonomy there. Zero. They didn't let him do anything he wanted to do. They never let him bench Westbrook.
Dude, they had guys from the front office sitting in on his meetings.
Yeah, so it's a completely different thing. Because if you're LeBron, if you're Russ, if you're AD, how am I going to respect my head coach when he's got zero power here? I know who's the power here.
Yeah.
From a Brooklyn standpoint, I honestly believe that there are people out there who can coach that team and get a fair amount of respect from Kevin Durant, and everybody else will follow in line. I think Mark Jackson can do that. I think Patrick Ewing could do that, who coaches at Georgetown. There are a couple guys out there who would sit on that bench as their head coach, and they would respect him. Now, whether they would listen to him, I don't think Kyrie will listen to anybody. Kevin Durant will listen and respect somebody of that nature. I think the problem is Kyrie Irving has to go away. He has to go away.
And I think something that we're like
too many things going.
Something that gets,
which is different from Russell Westbrook, by the way, who just wants to play basketball the way he wants to play basketball. That's fixable. You can bring him off the bench, take AD and LeBron out, and just let him do his thing for 7 minutes. That's a basketball thing. That's fixable.
Something that never gets talked about Brooklyn, though, dude. Like, let's be real. If we're gonna get basketball-y, they have a terrible roster too. Like,
no,
LA gets like dumped on for having a terrible roster. You got KD and Kyrie, and that's it.
You got Joe Harris, you got Nick Claxton, you got Ben Simmons, who hasn't played in 2 years, but he will get it together. You got Seth Curry. You have their roster is way better than the Lakers roster. If you took those two guys out, they would stomp the Lakers.
It's a bad roster.
Well,
okay, I know Mark Jackson will probably take any job in the world right now. Like,
oh God,
in the
yeah,
NBA.
Yeah.
But if you outside of Mark Jackson, if you're a respectable candidate, why would you go there right now?
Well, right. I mean, listen.
Ime Udoka would take that job.
Darvin Ham took the Lakers job.
Yeah, let's add more drama to Brooklyn. Let's hire Udoka.
Hey, listen, that's actually
hide your wife.
Actually, that's a great idea.
Wait till the details come out there.
No,
I wait and see there.
But I do like the drama angle of that. Is hire the guy who got fired by the Celtics, or not fired, suspended. Hey, look. So little did we know coming into today's broadcast, we knew it was going to be abbreviated. We knew we were going to go into World Series action at the top of the hour at 4:00, the pregame show. But little did we know that this story would break earlier today. And the Steve Nash thing, just last thought on it real quick is that Steve Nash, I've seen Steve in San Diego so many times because he would hang out with Steve Kerr. So, I mean, it would not be unusual at all to see Steve Nash and Steve Kerr having lunch at the Brigantine in Del Mar. I've run into those guys several times there. So, I mean, Steve Nash and this whole story of Brooklyn, if this were Indiana, if this were Portland, if this were, smaller markets, nobody would care. But it's similar in that you've got big, huge stars who people think should be championship caliber because you got these two great players, but you've got so much drama and you've got so much attitude and ego. And 2-5 get you fired. And by the way, I'm telling you, Steve Nash, his whole statement today, I wish the team good luck. Thank you to the size.
Later.
The Nashes are going to be cheering on the
Bye.
sideline. Pay me and let me go because this job sucks because these guys are uncoachable.
'Cause these
and
guys
I freaking
suck.
hate this. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well,
big trades in the NFL now, Scott.
all right. Well, let's get to that coming up. So, all
More keep coming down the waiver or the news wire.
right. So,
Welcome to the NBA.
well, hey, so here's the thing.
NFL.
Trade deadline today in the NFL, which normally doesn't really get a whole lot of action, but I think the Rams last year kind of changed that. And already you're seeing some big trades like the Bears trading their best middle linebacker, their best defensive player probably, to Baltimore, who desperately needs the help. So we'll get into what's going on in the NFL trade deadline. And I wanted to talk about this Landon Donovan thing. Stick around. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew on a Tuesday.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
I thought I was okay. I had a degree, I had work experience. I should be able to provide for my kids. But they're just things that you don't plan on in life.
My husband got laid off and we are a family of 5.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would ask the doctors, what can I do? And they would just say, just make sure she's eating. Our lives just changed completely. Thank God that we always had a plate of food.
When your air conditioner needs to be tuned up, repaired, or replaced, call Bill Howe, the name you have trusted for over 40 years. We carry the most reliable, energy-efficient brands that will fit your budget. Whether you are looking for a traditional or ductless air conditioning system, you know who to call.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. Because we know how.
Do the ups and downs of the financial markets have you on a roller coaster? Don't let the market take you and your investments for a ride. Stabilize your funds with SDCCU's Great Rate Savings, Money Market, or Certificate accounts. Choose a savings option that meets your needs and watch your money grow with SDCCU. Earn 1.5% APY on a 12-month certificate or 2.5% APY on a 36-month certificate. Open an account at sdccu.com/now. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better.
Change the way you look and feel with San Diego's most comprehensive varicose and spider vein treatment facility. San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center offers minimally invasive, pain-free procedures performed by board-certified cardiologist Dr. Tahizadeh. With over 17 years of experience, we specialize in the diagnosis of varicose veins, spider veins on the face, hands, and legs, ankle discoloration, leg swelling, and more. Improve your vein health today. Visit consultation.sdveintreatment.com or call 619-582-2404.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. What's happening? It's Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Abbreviated broadcast today from the radio side of things, because at the top of the hour, we're going to hand off to ESPN Radio, and they're going to have the pregame show, and then it's World Series Game 3, which was supposed to be last night, was postponed due to rain. And Alex, have you looked at the weather report in Philadelphia today by chance, just to see what is expected? Are we looking at a potential, further delay, or is this thing supposed to go today? Did you look, or I haven't looked? I didn't.
No, we're good.
We're good, as in
Yeah.
like your iPhone says that it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Before we get into where we said we were going to get to, which is NFL trade deadline and things that are already happening from earlier in the day, we'll get there in 1 second. Before we do, fellas, Browner, you're going to have no interest in what I'm about to tell you. Alex, you're going to be really interested in what I'm about to tell you.
I want it.
Okay. So I had lunch on Friday of last week with Landon Donovan, and that was the same day that all this news was coming out about a potential MLS team to San Diego. And I really got to say, guys, I hope we do get an MLS team here. I do. Because even though I've not been to an LAFC game, I've not been to an LA Galaxy game, the LAFC is in the championship game of the MLS this Saturday, and they're hosting the game. You can't go. You're getting married on Sunday.
That's true.
Gosh, I bet you want to go too, don't you?
No, not particularly, but
who are they playing?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I know
they beat Austin.
It's so funny because I honestly don't know. And so I'm not going to fake all this excitement, but I will just say this. Wouldn't it be fun to have an MLS team in San Diego and
Philadelphia? Damn, enough winning, Philly.
Dude, Philly's got the Phillies in the World Series. They got the best NFL football team, at least by record right now. And now they've got their team in against the LAFC this upcoming Saturday. And
Alex,
on
Thursday night, they got the World Series on Thursday night, and I believe the Eagles play Thursday night too.
Alex, I have a chance to go to the game on Saturday, the LAFC game. And I'm like, do I really want to go? I've not been to a game all year. And now the championship game comes and I just show up. I'm there. I'm on the bandwagon. Really?
Yes. I have been to 2 MLS Cup finals in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I went when the Galaxy had David Beckham and I think Landon too, when they beat Houston at StubHub or whatever the heck it's called now.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in the lock. I actually had a credential and I was like, let's do this, like an actual championship celebration.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun, really, really fun. Incredible atmosphere. I think I recommend, first of all, if you've never been to Bank of California Stadium, it's dope. It's tiny, but it's dope. The 3252's LAFC supporter group, they're amazing every single game. And it's right there, right next to the Coliseum.
I'm going to the Coliseum on Saturday to see USC play Cal. But I think the LAFC
as a guest of who?
As a guest of Mike Bone, the athletic director. There's another name drop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, this guy is just, man.
What?
Bag full of names.
Oh, dude. So look what I just got in the mail. So I just received this in the mail today. I haven't even opened it. Okay.
I'll put you on the full screen.
Okay.
This is from LAFC.
Okay. This is from LAFC. Yeah.
Another one?
Western Conference.
I got 2 boxes
final.
coming my way.
Let's see. Following an incredible regular season that saw the LAFC secure its unprecedented second Supporters Shield trophy in 4 years, the Los Angeles Football Club continues the 2022 Audi MLS Cup playoffs as a top seed. Blah, blah, blah. We invite you to come out. It's a blackout, whatever. This is all stuff that just came in the mail today. This is they call it like an influencer package.
Very nice.
Little cute soccer ball.
Now he's an influencer, Browner.
Now I'm an influencer. A couple of LAFC stickers. Like one of these, like things you would wear with your ticket, a lanyard. What else is
Get
in
to the
here?
good stuff.
I don't know, like a little bracelet thingy.
Very cool.
Let's see.
The
This
scarf?
Scarf, dude.
Nice.
Scarf.
Dibsity dibsity. Okay.
Scarf. LAFC
What's
scarf.
it say? What's it say?
I don't know.
LA
see.
Cap, Los Angeles.
Oh, got to turn it around. Yeah.
Yeah.
LA.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back,
Says
what it
like
says. What's it say?
repping the city.
Repping the city. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Hey,
All right.
listen.
Which city? Which city are
Well,
you
right
repping?
now I'm repping the city that has the team that's going into the championship.
Can I tell you guys something?
Wow.
Part of the mega market, Browner.
I got to tell you guys something, and you won't believe me, but I swear this is absolutely 100% true. I have always tried to get into the MLS. I have been to LA Galaxy games. I've been to LAFC games. I have watched like Seattle Sounders versus Portland. I've really I have put some effort into it. I've never given myself to a team because I have been waiting to see if San Diego would get one. Because there is no reason I shouldn't be a freaking Galaxy fan right now. They had David Beckham. They had Chicharito on their team right now. There's no reason I shouldn't be a Galaxy
Had
fan.
Landon Donovan.
There's
There's a statue of Landon Donovan in front of the stadium.
I've been to the bunch of their games. They had Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Right.
Like,
You
there's
did
no
have
reason
Zlatan.
why I shouldn't be a Galaxy fan. And then LAFC came around, and I went and I checked out a game. They got Carlos Vela, who is one of the best. Well, he doesn't play for Mexico because whatever. But and they just have marketed it so well. Will Ferrell is one of my favorite freaking comedian actors. He's the owner. Like, there's no reason why I shouldn't have picked a team by now. But I've been putting out hope that San Diego will get one. That's why I
Well-
haven't fully invested. Are you going to tell me right now that Landon Donovan says that there's one coming?
Okay, so here's what I'll say. Landon didn't tell me, hey, everything we're about to talk about is off the record. He didn't say, don't go discuss this on the radio. But what I took away from the Landon Donovan lunch on Friday was that Landon and the ownership of the Loyal knew that this was being discussed and this was coming down. The question that I had for Landon is, well, what happens to the Loyal? Do they get absorbed by the new team, the new MLS ownership? Do they completely go away? Like what is going to happen? And to be truthful, from what I took away from the conversation, I don't think anybody knows right now. I'm not sure anybody actually really knows if A, San Diego is definitely getting an MLS team, if B, it's going to be a partnership between this Egyptian billionaire and the Sycuan people. And I suppose you get in business with the Sycuan people because they're very active locally. And they're kind of the San Diegans of the squad, whereas these guys are probably like the big money and the international soccer types. So I guess what I'm saying to you is that based on the lunch that I had with Landon on Friday, it's not like he was like, yeah, definitely done deal happening. I think I walked away from that lunch saying, we're not really sure. We know what's happening. We're in the fold. This isn't something we read about in the news and we just heard about it. They're aware of what's going on. They've been in touch with whomever. And I'm hopeful, I think Landon probably is too, that all the work that the San Diego Loyal has done as a USL team to cultivate a soccer fan base in San Diego, which obviously already has a very strong one, that hopefully Landon would be involved and hopefully the ownership of the Loyal would get a piece of this pie and become partners with this new group. So
I would say, did you get a reading from Landon? Because I would say from what he's shown, he's not a guy that sits back and reacts to things. Did you get any sense that he's telling you this, but there's no way they're just waiting to see what happens?
Oh, I would definitely say that I think that the ownership of the Loyal is actively trying to become a partner with this club.
Because the Galaxy, we're speaking of the LA teams, they have the LA Galaxy 2, and they play in the USL,
Right.
which is the same league as the Loyal.
Yes.
I'm not telling you that's what I'm proposing for them, but I don't want to see the Loyal and the organization that they've built just go away.
I
I
agree.
feel like they've done such a good job here.
They deserve, and let me just tell you something.
Besides, buying the insurrectionist, everything else has been really good.
Dude, the ownership of the Loyal is not one guy. It's not one guy who invested his own money. There's a lot of people who put money into the Loyal thinking that eventually the Loyal would graduate to MLS and that their money would be 4, 5, 10 times what they invested. It would be a terrible shame for the Loyal, who I said earlier, cultivated the soccer fan base, look, we always know that people in San Diego love soccer. We know that because of the television ratings. When there's international soccer matches on, San Diego is always a top 3 market from watching these games. You can also see 33,000 people, fill into Snapdragon Stadium for a female professional soccer game in a league that is essentially brand new. People in San Diego love soccer. So for me, when the LAFC is in the championship this Saturday and they're sending me all this nice gear, which, by the way, obviously, Alex, I'll be handing off a lot of this stuff to you. This is a nice wedding gift, don't you think, Browner? This box make for a nice wedding gift on Sunday, don't you think?
No, you got to get big fella more than
nice
that.
scarf.
Little fella. He little fella
scarf,
now.
little T-shirt action.
No,
you can't be dropping like Landon Donovan, Mike Bone, whoever else you hang out, and then give me a free box that you got.
Yeah, he can't be all this LA suite. You at the Rams game and a suite, and you all the taken care of. No, dog.
I'm gonna need like World Series ticket prices type gift from you.
Well, I don't know about none of that. Well, all I will say is a free box ain't gonna cut it.
Well, I mean, what if I show up?
You do got 2 of them,
yeah,
but still.
What if I show up with an LAFC box for Alex, and then I get some sort of a gift bag from USC on Saturday night, and then I show up to the wedding and I've got USC gear and LAFC gear, and I'm like, here you go, big fella. Here's your.
I think
he got all the USC gear he needs.
All right.
I think when I'm thinking our reception, our gift table is the size of an envelope that only fits cash.
Oh, got it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I don't know if you're gonna be able to put
nothing else in the house.
Bags and boxes on top of that, that really rectangular envelope sized table.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, listen.
You can fit a gift card in there.
Did you think that though? That I think everybody's thinking the same thing. Okay, so we're not sure what happens with the loyal, but did you get a vibe that this MLS thing is it's going to happen?
I didn't get that vibe at all. I didn't get the vibe that Landon was saying to me, dude, this is happening. It's 100% done deal. And I know this because I've spoken to the commissioner of MLS and I'm telling you right now, it's done. I don't think that at all. But what I do think is this, and I think this is pretty obvious to see. If San Diego today had a world-class stadium, conceivably, some point, somebody might actually be talking about putting an NFL team in it, conceivably. My point is this. Now that there is a legitimate place for an MLS team to play, that's why San Diego is much more attractive today than it was, say, 4 or 5 years ago, because there wasn't a facility for them to play in. But now that Snapdragon Stadium is built and operational, and you've seen 33,000 people squeeze into it for a soccer match, now the MLS is going, we love San Diego. We want to be in that market. It's awesome to have the Galaxy, the LAFC, and the San Diego, whatever you call them, and to have a pocket of Southern California soccer fans. I think that because of Snapdragon Stadium, now it is more realistic than ever before for the MLS to come. And while Landon did not say to me it's a done deal, it's happening, Landon definitely intimated that he and the ownership of the Loyal have known about this and are trying actively to become a part of it.
And you got to imagine, if you're talking about an Egyptian billionaire who was trying to purchase Chelsea FC, who's one of the biggest clubs in England, English soccer, they're not going to come in here and just be like, hey, we'll sign a little lease from San Diego State. They've already, in the UT, they're already talking about, well, we're going to upgrade the visitor locker room. We got to upgrade. We're going to put canopies in. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. And I got to imagine San Diego State is probably begging for someone to come in and take that thing over. Like, San Diego State is not in the event coordinating world.
No, it'd be nice for them to have a partner.
Right. And I would say a
controlling partner,
a controlling partner of a stadium.
I don't know about that part. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because, I mean, dude, the MLS, they play 34 games a season. That's just the league. They have cups. They have other tournaments. They have exhibitions. And then you have the Wave in there. You get the MLS team in there. You get whatever else is in there. It's like, yeah,
it becomes a legitimate facility. Look, I guess the whole start of this conversation is this. I always say, if you want big time sports, unfortunately now as a San Diegan, you have to go to LA. Other than the Padres and what they accomplished this year, if you want NFL, if you want NBA, if you want Major League Soccer, if you want NHL, you have to schlep to LA. Believe me, I did it I did it Sunday for the Rams game. I'm doing it this Saturday for the USC game. I may actually go to this LAFC game on Saturday now that I'm thinking about it. But if you want big time sports, you have to go to LA minus the Padres. If you could add an MLS team to San Diego, that would be a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people would get behind it.
A lot of people in the community would push back and tell you that's your definition of big time sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what other than the Padres? What am I missing?
No, but I'm telling you, like, if they do get an MLS team, that would be really huge for some people.
Yeah.
Soccer is that big to some people. I think some people. I'm not telling you the majority of the
No,
community.
you're saying that people would say that MLS is not big time?
How many times do we hear people say, like, I don't even watch the NFL anymore?
Well, I think San Diegans want to get behind San Diego teams, and I think they also want to get behind teams that play in the highest levels. And if the USL is not the highest level, and you've seen what the Loyal have already been able to do in San Diego, imagine what an MLS team could probably do here, especially if it wins. So probably could turn Browner into a soccer fan.
Look, if you put a Major League Soccer, an MLS team anywhere in this city, I will become invested. I have no disrespect to Landon Donovan and the groundwork that he's put in for the Loyal.
By the way, he loves you because he was one of the things we talked about at lunch. He's like, "How's your boy Browner? How's Browner doing?" Like you're on his radar for all the stuff you talked earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Good, man. I only want what's right. So I hope that they're a part of this, but I need big time.
Yeah,
I need big time, man. My money is sparse, baby.
All right.
So I gotta bust a Browner here because we're gonna run out of time.
I know. So before we do this, I just want to welcome really quickly to the show a new sponsor. It's kind of an old sponsor, but it's sort of a new sponsor, and that's Penske San Diego. You know, for the last year and change, I've been talking about Mazda of Escondido, and it's a great dealership. And I have 3 cars from Mazda of Escondido, but Mazda is not everybody's favorite brand. The beauty of Penske San Diego, you know, Browner and I did this thing with Lexus of San Diego a few months ago. And I think the Penske people were like, why do we have Kaplan and Crew only endorsing the Mazda dealer when we could have Kaplan and Crew endorsing the entire ownership group? Listen, there are 12 dealerships around San Diego with 9 brands. Okay. Acura, Audi, BMW, Honda, Lexus, Mini, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, and Toyota. Mini and Mazda are 2 separate things. 12 San Diego area dealerships, 9 exclusive brands, PenskeSanDiego.com. That's PenskeSanDiego.com. So if you're thinking about buying a car, Penske's got 12 dealerships and 9 brands, including Mazda, Mercedes, et cetera, et cetera. Welcome to the show, Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. All right, Alex, you said we were going to run out of time. Where were we going from here?
I just want to say for the first time in I think my entire life, the Vikings own the NFC North, and this is a very weird place to be right now. This is a very weird place to be right now.
What are you doing?
The Packers stink. They have a losing record. They're bad.
Yes.
And here's why it's hilarious. The Bears traded their best defensive player, which isn't a surprise because they weren't going to agree to an extension. I know that. I'm not trying to make it any bigger than it is, but the Bears are terrible, and they just traded their best defensive player.
They flipped him. Mention that they flipped him.
What do you mean by flipped him?
They ended up trading for Chase Claypool today. But if you're excited about Chase Claypool, then you haven't seen the past 2 years of Chase Claypool. Like that dude ain't no better than whatever you got now. He's more interested in painting his face and dancing after a first down with the time running out in the playoff game than anything else. Secondly, the Lions, who are terrible, always have been terrible, always will forever be terrible as long as they're owned by that family.
True.
They keep trading in the division, and they just gave us a top 5 tight end in TJ Hawkinson for nothing. All we did was swap picks.
You're saying Detroit and Minnesota made a trade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings they lost their tight end today who sucks. Irv Smith he's out for like 8 weeks, but he's terrible anyways. He can't catch.
Mm-hmm.
They just got TJ Hawkinson, who is behind Kittle, behind Kelsey. Waller's always hurt. Behind Andrews, and then Hawkinson as the best tight end in the league. And all they did was swap picks in the 2nd round and a 4th round pick. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. This is a weird time to be a Vikings fan, and I love it.
All right, we got to get Kevin O'Connell on the show at some point.
I don't want to jinx
kind of coaching.
I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah. Can you go through what trades have already gone down? Because you just mentioned Minnesota and Detroit.
Yesterday, the Bears started it off. They traded Roquan Smith to the Ravens. I don't know what they got. A 2nd round pick.
Second and a 4th, I think. Or 2nd and 5th, something like that.
And earlier today, the TJ Hawkinson was traded to the Vikings, like I just said. Just now, Chase Claypool was traded to the Bears for a 2nd round pick.
And where was Chase Claypool? Because I honestly, because I got to just say that name doesn't ring a bell for me.
Yeah, Chase Claypool, the dude from Notre Dame. Yeah, he was on Pittsburgh. He's fallen way down the pecking order there. And then news in general. Colts fired their offensive coordinator. The Lions fired their defensive back coach. Yeah.
Doesn't matter who the Lions fire.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
man.
all about grit.
Hey, listen, you guys notice that today,
Kneecap taken out.
here's my Browns t-shirt today, because how about the way my Cleveland Browns ham-slammed the Cincinnati Bengals last night? Man, if the Browns don't lose that game earlier this season to the Jets, and if the Browns don't lose that game to the Chargers, the Browns are right there with the Ravens, and they're in the middle of all of this. But instead, they find ways to lose games. I was worried last night they might figure out a way to kind of screw that whole thing
It's funny
up.
how yesterday the Manning cast, they had Boomer Esiason on, and they're like, yeah, what's Burrow going to do without Chase? And then Esiason just goes, well, Joe Burrow's really good. I think he'll be just fine. No,
And then
not so good yesterday.
Yeah, then he wasn't. Right. Well, let me just say this. These are abbreviated broadcasts today for those of you listening on 1090. Reason being, top of the hour coming up in a matter of moments. We're going to hand things off to the World Series and ESPN Radio. Oh, no, what?
Well, not but according to Shams Charania, Ime Udoka is the front runner to be the Brooklyn Nets head coach.
Wow.
Told you.
Way to pay that off here at the end.
Told you.
Well, anyway, my point was going to be we're heading towards the World Series. We're going to air the World Series here on 1090. So these become abbreviated broadcasts. Now, for everybody that's listening on 1090, if you want more of the show, come visit us on YouTube or on any of the audio podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Amazon Music, iHeart. We're there. And there's more show coming up. Now, 1090 listeners, we're handing off to the World Series. Enjoy it. For those of you that want more of Kaplan and Crew, come to YouTube, come to the audio podcast, and we'll see everybody tonight on TV on Channel 4 San Diego, Cox Your View. 1090 listeners from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, it's time for us to say peace out. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody else, come hang out with us here on YouTube. Peace out, 1090 listeners.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit MurrayLampert.com for your consultation.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
The Rich Eisen Show airs Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. An engaging blend of insightful football expertise with an offbeat mix of humor and pop culture while continuing to attract the most recognizable names in sports and entertainment. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
Murray Lampert's design process is very collaborative. We love the process, and what's best about the process is the way that it can flex as needed. So if there's a new piece of technology that's available that's really going to help us out make a more accurate model, we're going to utilize that. We'll send the measure-off team to the house, and they will end up scanning the house using drones, LiDAR scanning, lasers, and tape measures to measure every square inch of the home. Then they'll take that information back to the office and build a 3D model of the home. We'll be upfront and honest if they're asking for things that may be out of their budget. We're going to let them know up front. We're always motivated to strive for excellence. There's kind of not another way to be. We do the best work we can and ultimately make the homeowners happy. What makes me proud is when we present that 3D model to the homeowners and we wow them. Sometimes we even bring tears to their eyes because they love the design so much. That brings me a lot of joy.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Your View and YourView.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
I feel like I have the fun part of the job where I get to help out and make my clients' houses look beautiful. We start with looking at the floor plan, space planning, and then we look at countertops, tile, backsplashes, flooring, cabinets, everything like that. We have a lot of client meetings start in our conference room. Sometimes we have some clients that have already selected certain items that they want to incorporate into their project. We want to make sure they're happy with it because they're going to be living with it for a very long time. Sometimes we'll do something that, goes totally with the style, and then we'll have a total outlier option for the client. And a lot of the times they end up going with that because they want to see something totally different. We want to make sure that we're focusing in on our clients. I really want to make sure at the end of the day the clients are happy, that I'm keeping up with my communication with them, and that we know that at the end of the day as well, and moving through the process of construction and everything, that we're going to have a successful project.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com.
Hola, I'm J.R. Cardenas.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez.
We're the hosts for Su Vida, where we showcase California restaurants, music,
art, culture, and so much more.
We would love to talk to you about featuring your business on our show.
Yes, and as an added bonus, you get to keep the professional video segment to repurpose and use on your website or social media channels.
Please click on the link below to get more information about how to put your business on Su Vida.
We hope to hear from you soon.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Brought to you by Procopio, San Diego's largest law firm, committed to community, representing San Diegans for more than 75 years. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Absolutely. The best part of the day is working with the team and working directly with customers. Just because it's fun and I enjoy collaborating. I enjoy watching the customers' reactions when the designers come up with their spaces. And we really take pride in the team effort and what we accomplish in the end.
I can tell that the team we have, accountability is very important. They feel like the work that we do is not just a reflection of themselves, but a reflection of us.
We've always been a design build company, but now we've taken design, not only architectural, but interior design to a completely different level.
The philosophy of integrity here at Murray Lampert is always doing the right thing even when someone isn't looking. In turn, the homeowners get a really great product.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Murray Lampert's design process is very collaborative. We love the process, and what's best about the process is the way that it can flex as needed. So if there's a new piece of technology that's available that's really going to help us out make a more accurate model, we're going to utilize that. We'll send the measure-off team to the house, and they will end up scanning the house using drones, LiDAR scanning, lasers, and tape measures to measure every square inch of the home. Then they'll take that information back to the office and build a 3D model of the home. We'll be upfront and honest if they're asking for things that may be out of their budget. We're going to let them know up front. We're always motivated to strive for excellence. There's kind of not another way to be. We do the best work we can and ultimately make the homeowners happy. What makes me proud is when we present that 3D model to the homeowners and we wow them. Sometimes we even bring tears to their eyes because they love the design so much. That brings me a lot of joy.
I feel like I have the fun part of the job where I get to help out and make my clients' houses look beautiful. We start with looking at the floor plans, space planning, and then we look at countertops, tile, backsplashes, flooring, cabinets, everything like that. We have a lot of client meetings start in our conference room. Sometimes we have some clients that have already selected certain items that they want to incorporate into their project. We want to make sure they're happy with it because they're going to be living with it for a very long time. Sometimes we'll do something that goes totally with the style, and then we'll have a total outlier option for the client. And a lot of the times they end up going with that because they want to see something totally different. We want to make sure that we're focusing in on our clients. I really want to make sure at the end of the day the clients are happy, that I'm keeping up with my communication with them, and that we know that at the end of the day as well, and moving through the process of construction and everything, that we're going to have a successful project.
Joining me now is Paco Franco, Medicare Benefits Consultant with Clever Care. Thank you so much for joining us, Paco.
Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate it.
First off, we hear that Clever Care is a health plan customized for growing diverse populations. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most distinct differences of Clever Care is that we combine the principles of Eastern and Western medicine to our approach of healthcare. We believe in the complete well-being of our members and believe that wellness should be affordable. Anybody who's eligible for Medicare can join Clever Care Medicare Advantage HMO plan. We also have another enrollment period coming up called the annual enrollment period. This is the most popular one, which takes place from October 15th to December 7th. And during this time, you can sign up for a new plan, you can switch plans, you can leave a plan, or simply just return to your original Medicare.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. Two, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center, we take care of all various needs of patients for management of their venous insufficiency. People who come here are mainly concerned about symptoms that brings them on or issues related to cosmetic concern that we can always take care of. Now with the advancement of technology and so many catheter-based treatments, we can treat our patients much more quickly, much more comfortably with less downtime. Patients love the result invariably.
It's been a huge impact in my life to feel better, to be able to power walk again. Overall, I'm just feeling like I used to feel when I was a lot younger, and I'm so grateful for this place.
It's a privilege to take care of our patients. It comes from the heart, and I love it.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit MurrayLampert.com for your consultation.
Congratulations to the 2022-23 San Diego County Teachers of the Year, Jacqueline Ma, Stephanie Cluxton, Amy McCoy, Juanita Nunez, and Melissa Raines. Congratulations to all the Teachers of the Year. We salute you and everything you do for your students.
Change the way you look and feel with San Diego's most comprehensive varicose and spider vein treatment facility. San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center offers minimally invasive, pain-free procedures performed by board-certified cardiologist Dr. Tahizadeh. With over 17 years of experience, we specialize in the diagnosis of varicose veins, spider veins on the face, hands, and legs, ankle discoloration, leg swelling, and more. Improve your vein health today. Visit consultation.sdveintreatment.com or call 619-582-2404.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.